In this video, I'm going to be turning a $1 jar into a stone path terrarium. Make sure to stick around to see the finished results. I first started with the jar. I got this one at the dollar store. And thankfully I won't have to wash it out because there wasn't food in it. But I will have to peel the label off. Usually when I peel the label off, there's a sticky residue, which I can simply get off with rubbing alcohol and something to scrub it off with. And after a couple minutes, the glass was clear. It's now time for the drainage layer. The drainage layer is a place where water can sit so the terrarium doesn't turn stagnant, which can lead to the terrarium's death. I used crushed granite, but you can use things like pea gravel, leca, or other small rocks. I made sure the drainage layer was flat by patting it down. It's now time for the substrate barrier. It keeps the substrate from getting into the drainage layer while allowing water to freely pass through. I then cut it down to size. It's okay if it's a little big like mine was. I used fiberglass mesh, but you can use something like weed barrier. It's now time for the substrate. The substrate is one of the components that'll determine whether your ecosystem will be long-lasting or not. So you need to choose a good one. I'll put a good mix I used up on screen. I made sure to slope the substrate up to the back so there can be a sense of scale and depth. I then gave it a spray down so the substrate would stay in place. And I wiped down the glass so we could see in there. It's now time to make the stone path, but first I need to crush this stone into pieces. And make sure you're wearing safety glasses for this. I'm making sure each stone gets smaller and smaller as it gets further towards the back. In my opinion, the more sharp and jaggedy the rocks get, the more natural it looks. If you're enjoying the video so far, why not like and subscribe? It really helps out. I'm now finished with the stone path. I added this cool piece of wood hardscape to look like a dead tree stump. The ecosystem was coming together really well. But now it's time for the moss. If you know what species this moss is, why not comment down below? I like how wild and scraggly the moss looks. It gives it a more natural appearance. I then filled any gaps where the substrate was noticeable. I then added extra stones and gave the terrarium a light spray down. Later I removed the stones because I decided they didn't look great. It's all about trial and error when it comes to making ecosystems. I then added Ficus pumila corsifolia, or oak leaf creeping fig, for more detail and interest. I thought it would look really cool growing up the side of the wood hardscape. It's now time for the springtails. They will call this ecosystem their home, and they'll eat mold and decaying matter while emitting carbon dioxide for the plants. Thankfully, you won't have to worry about overbreeding because they'll self-regulate depending on the food available in the terrarium. The ecosystem was now complete. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something from it. Click here to see the video where I made a Tic Tac bottle into an ecosystem. Or you can go to my channel.